Good evening, and welcome to the 2016 Spring Honors Convocation for the UAB School of Public Health. It is an honor and a pleasure to have our graduates and their families here today, joined by our faculty and staff. The Honors Convocation is our special ceremony to recognize our graduates who have worked hard to achieve their degree, whether it is a bachelor, master's, or doctoral degree. We cannot be more proud of your achievements and look forward to recognizing you this evening for your accomplishments. Seated in the first row to my left is the school's senior leadership. Dr. Pete Genter, Associate Dean for Graduate Education. Dr. David Allison, Associate Dean for Science. Dr. Suzanne Judd, Assistant Dean for Undergraduate Education. Dr. April Carson, Director of the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Dr. Lisa McCormick, Director of the Office of Public Health Practice. Dr. David Redden, Chair of the Department of Biostatistics. Dr. Jerry McGuinn, Chair of the Department of Epidemiology. Dr. Michelle Fanucchi, Chair of the Department of Environmental Health Sciences. Dr. Kevin Fontaine, Chair of the Department of Health Behavior. And Dr. Meredith Kilgore, Chair of the Department of Healthcare Organization and Policy. Sitting behind the first row is our outstanding faculty. These are the women and men who share their knowledge and expertise in the classroom, in the conference room, and in the laboratory. Without this community of scholars, there would be no School of Public Health, no honors convocation for our graduates, and no inquiry into the health and well-being of our citizens. The faculty and students alike rely heavily on the support they receive from our excellent staff members who work in all of our offices. These are our unsung heroes, dedicated daily to making this institution one of the nation's very best. Those staff members who were able to join us today, please stand so we can recognize you. Come on. And now the most important people here this evening, family and loved ones of our graduates. Your support, understanding, and generosity culminate in this day of celebration. I know you are proud, and we are thankful for all that you have meant to our graduates as they work to complete their degrees. In no small way, this is your day. Each year, we recognize the recipients of awards presented by the school and the university. These awards recipients, who I will introduce this evening, will be recognized in a formal reception on June 1st. As I introduce them, please hold your applause until each recipient has been called. The recipient for the 2016 Outstanding Faculty Public Health Service Award is Dr. Martha Wingate. Y'all don't follow directions, do you? The recipient of the 2016 Outstanding Staff Public Health Service Award is Paul Wolf. Paul is in the back. The recipient of the 2016 Distinguished Faculty Investigator Award is Dr. Janet Turan. And in an unprecedented award trifecta, Dr. Dale Dickinson is a recipient of the 2016 President's Award for Excellence in Teaching for the School of Public Health, the 2016 President's Award for Excellence in Teaching for the Honors College, and the 2016 Provost Award for Faculty Excellence in Service Learning. Can you do that again next year? Now for our student awards. The recipient of the 2016 Outstanding Doctoral Student Award is Dr. Gabe Taju. Gabe? Dr. Taju completed his DRPH in Healthcare Organization and Policy in 2015 and is employed as a postdoctoral fellow in the Department of Epidemiology. Gabe is also a bit of a modern-day Renaissance man as he balances his day job as a data-crunching empirical researcher with his soulful stylings on the Birmingham music scene. He's a bold idealist and a true asset to UAB and the community of Birmingham. Gabe, come on up. The recipient of the 2016 Outstanding Master's Student is Dr. Ali Padilla. To quote from her nomination, Dr. Padilla is one of the most passionate, savvy, and dedicated students I've had in my 24-plus years at the School of Public Health. She has a strong sense of volunteerism, can multitask to the hilt, and puts out 100 times the effort required to get the job done. Alan? We have rules. And the recipient of the 2016 Outstanding Bachelor Student Award is Erin Palomares. Erin? Erin is the top of her class academically, but most impressively, she seeks out challenging tasks that are beyond her coursework. She serves on the Public Health Student Association and has always been willing to provide input on key issues such as building safety. Erin? It is now my pleasure to introduce our Honors Convocation speaker, Alabama State Representative Rod Scott. Representative Scott serves State District 55, which stretches from Fairfield to western Birmingham. He was reelected in 2014 to his third term. His current committee responsibilities include the Education Trust Fund and Economic Development and Tourism. In 2014, Representative Scott was named Legislator of the Year by the Alabama House Democratic Caucus. Representative Scott received his BA in Economics from Yale University and an MPA from the Amos Tuck School of Business Administration at Dartmouth College. He's on the faculty at Miles College in the Department of Business and Accounting, where he teaches microeconomics, macroeconomics, and personal finance management. Prior to his election to the Alabama House of Representatives, Mr. Scott served on the City Council of the City of Birmingham. It is indeed a personal privilege and an honor to welcome Representative Rod Scott on behalf of the UAB School of Public Health as our Honors Convocation speaker. Thank you for joining us.
If you forgive me, but I always would like to thank Dr. Michaels for having me here. But I always begin by giving honor to the reason why I'm here, and therefore I like to say grace and peace unto you all in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You know, it's interesting because this is such an honor for me that it's unbelievable. So I'll give a little brief statement about that because Dr. Michaels has given me a few minutes to say something. And that is, when I was in high school, I took courses at UAB. I took physics, chemistry, and calculus. Also, I worked for the head of the biochemistry department, who was Dr. Rosen at the time. And I worked for the head of the embryology department, that was Dr. Poirier. Now, the reason that I was able to do that, and the reason my education is somewhat slanted, is because of two people in my life. There was a PhD from Yale University who had a degree in biostatistics in public health. Therefore, I'm somewhat enamored with statistics. And therefore, I'm an econometrics professor, really. Statistics is my favorite field of study because you can apply it to anything. And also my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law was at the medical school here at the time, which is another reason I love UAB. I have a brother-in-law who graduated from the medical school, a nephew who graduated from the medical school, and a sister that graduated from the medical school here at UAB. So you all just don't know what an honor it is for me to be here with you. You know, life is really, really interesting. And I'm going to begin by telling you something briefly about me, and that is that I am the youngest of 10 children. Therefore, I learn easier through observation and listening. I grew up observing and listening, the 9 before me. So it was easy for me to learn what not to do in front of my father and mother and what I needed to keep secret. But that has enabled me to do things that I never thought I would be able to do. Now, before going into the political arena and even into the educational arena, you could say that I have an equivalent of a master's in computer science because I worked for IBM. And when you work for IBM, you have to go through a year of study of computers before you can actually sell computers to customers. And I was a salesman of mainframe computers to large corporations out of Atlanta, Georgia. So being at IBM gave me a tremendous experience, but it was only temporary. I moved from IBM to a company out in California called Cigna, and I did financial wealth management for people who had, at the time, in the early 90s, had to have 1.2 million in net worth, which means assets owned above debt that they owed, so that I could provide them with financial services. I then went on to do strategic planning for a $3 billion company in Greenville, South Carolina, where it was my job to integrate technology into the business divisions of that company to make sure that we achieved our return on assets for the company. So my experience has been very broad, and it's been a blessing, really, to have had the breadth of experiences that I've had. Now, let me switch to politics, and I hate to call it politics because I would refer to consider myself a statesman or a public servant. Although I know that in Alabama right now, that's hard to believe with all the things that are going on within Alabama politics. Yet, there was a distinct difference that I learned from being a public servant versus being inside of a private corporation or even a private educational institution. And the difference is very simple, and I want you all to keep this in mind the rest of your career. The difference is that when you are a part of a private organization or a private educational institution, you have a single goal that everybody works toward. In business, it's profit maximization. We should maximize the profit of the organization and the life of that organization. However, switching to politics is totally different because there is no common goal. The common goal should be the welfare of the citizens that are representative of the areas that we live in. However, that's broken down somewhat by special interest groups. And therefore, politics comes into play where you will have a difference between the different parties and the interests that those parties represent. However, the day will come when we will, as both Republicans and Democrats throughout this country, come up with a legislative agenda versus a party agenda. More than likely, we'll begin with having a legislative agenda, and each party will still have a separate agenda. But that means that we have to have increased communication between the parties so that we get together prior to decisions being made and what we should pursue and come to a consensus on what those things are that both parties agree with and what those things are that will be pursued by specific party interests. If you keep that in mind when you go into your field, it has a ramification. And that is that if you are going to be successful, you're going to have to be able to communicate. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you all are in what I call a microcosm, and you're communicating with other people in your field. You're communicating with people that understand the language that you are speaking. That won't be the case when you leave, because you will begin to work with people who have other educational experiences. Therefore, the most important thing that I learned from working for IBM after failing to communicate properly, because I had gone through Yale, majored in economics, I had gone to Dartmouth, had my master's in business administration, and that master's was a general management master's, meaning that I understood the fields within business. And those fields at the time were finance, marketing, operations, human resources, and information technology. For you all, the challenge may be even more so, because when I look at the field of medicine and I look at all the professionals that are in medicine, communication can become increasingly difficult. But success in what you're going to do means that you have to master communications. And how do you do that? It's simple, yet it's difficult. The simplicity is that you have to be able to take what you know, the terminology that you know, and the concepts that are locked into the vocabulary words that you know, and be able to use definitions with people that are outside of your field. It's very simple, yet it's complicated. That in itself has made me successful as a legislator, regardless of party, because I'm able to take the concepts and the ideas that I have learned through my academic and through my business experience and communicate with people who may have no experience at all in my field. I learned that at IBM the hard way, after several failures of communicating with people or thinking that I was communicating with people and not communicating with them effectively. And I know that you all are up for the challenge, but if you take the theory that you've learned here that are embedded in those vocabulary words and those in the terminology, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish with your colleagues outside of your field. They will never tell you that they don't understand what you're saying. Just like I was never told by my colleagues that they didn't understand what I was saying. But because of observation, I began to learn that effective communication begins with assuring that the people that you're working with understand you. And with that understanding, you can accomplish whatever you want. They'll be able to follow your instructions. You can then begin to create policies that they appreciate and also agree to. And it won't be forced upon you. Or I should say, forced upon them. So again, I really want to congratulate each one of you for the success that you have achieved thus far. Yet now, the rubber has to meet the road, and you have to go into your respective fields with colleagues that may not have your background. And if you do so openly and honestly, expecting communication, vibrant communication between your colleagues, you will be the most successful graduating class from the UAB School of Public Health. Now, I'm going to end with this. Because of my experience, I learned very quickly. And you all have heard the saying, but you may not have understood it. In politics, there are no enemies, there are no friends, there's only interest. And that is your interest. So if you align your interests properly, and I believe I have aligned mine properly by wanting to represent the people of Alabama versus special interest groups within the state, that you will represent your field more dramatically, and I should say more effectively, than any other people graduating at this time. So with that being said, I want to congratulate you graduates, undergraduates, and master's degrees, and if there are any PhDs here, the PhDs. And I'd like to end by thanking the parents, because I'm a parent also. And I know what we have to go through with our children to make sure that they excel. And because they're here, you have done the work that makes them excel. So thank you for being a part of their lives and touching everyone within the state of Alabama. So thank you, and Godspeed.
Rod, thanks. Appreciate that very much. Dr. Suzanne Judd, Assistant Dean for Undergraduate Education, will now lead the recognition of our public health undergraduates.
At this time, you guys can stand and start to follow folks. It's always an honor to be here. And they give me a microphone, and I just cannot help but talk. I'm really just supposed to shake your hands, but since you're walking, I'm going to go ahead and say something. This particular class is the largest one we've graduated. We've graduated 3 classes, and this is the largest. And this class kept me on my toes this year. They are so incredibly different. We have mothers, we have people taking care of their parents, we have people from rural Alabama, we have people from urban Alabama, we have people from other states, all walks of life. And when you're in class with 35 of them with such different backgrounds, it's challenging. It's challenging to try to relate. It's challenging to help get them everything that you want to get them before they leave your classroom. And this particular class of graduating seniors, I have no doubt that they are going to be among the best of the ones we've had that have graduated from UAB. They're an outstanding group, and I'm so excited today to have the opportunity to shake their hands as they walk across the stage.
Brooke Alyssa Allen. Megan Brooke Shoemate. Erica Ray Cooper. Mariana Hardison. Kelsey Nicole McAllister. Candace D. Mosley. Subria L. Spencer. Laundria T. Paulding. Umar Qureshi. Jared Stephen Ball. Aaron Palomares. Catherine M. Hemo. Sean Michael McMahon. Beanish Cameron. Jennifer C. Monteo. Raghavendra Kasa. You don't want your middle name. Megan Taylor Couture. Emily L. Goodall. Caitlin E. Allred. Amina Isam. John Weremu.
The women and men who are about to receive their public health graduate degrees are indeed special. They will become crucial leaders in a profession that enjoys increasing popularity and one that is able more than most to grapple with the most complex and difficult problems human existence imaginable. These graduates have learned to rethink the status quo, to translate the intellectual joys of the classroom into the harsh realities of a public health system under strain and scrutiny, and to invigorate a profession with creativity and innovation. They are an inspiration to all of us in the school. We are impressed by your hard work, we are awed by your talents, and we are inspired by your commitment. Our ceremony this evening traces its origins to the academic dress traditions of the 14th century Europe, primarily Oxford and Cambridge. In your program, you will find a brief description of academic regalia. The color of the hood is distinctive to a particular degree the faculty member received. The graduating students today will receive the public health hood, which is salmon pink. And as you can see from our faculty sitting behind me, there are many colleges and universities represented, as well as a number of different degrees. With this evening's honor convocation, we're continuing a tradition we started last fall. Each graduate will receive a specially designed School of Public Health medallion. I know you can't see it, but it's very cute. This medallion was designed by Brad Daniel. A staff member in the Dean's office, and was inspired by our students who helped the school create an orientation event for incoming students, an event we called For the Public's Health. The center of the medallion is the gateway tower to UAB, surrounded by 6 stylized figures joining hands to form a community and inscribed with the words, For the Public's Health, UAB School of Public Health. For the orientation event, the incoming students signed the Declaration of Commitment to Public Health, a unique pledge written by several students. Because the declaration was written by our students and is unique to UAB, I want to read part of it to you. We, the incoming students of the UAB School of Public Health, holding sacred our duty to safeguard the health of our community, affirm our beliefs as we embark together on this important journey in our training. We will dedicate our time and talents to the preservation of public wellness through scholarship, education, and service. By declaring our beliefs, we affirm our commitment as students, as advocates, and as citizens to to work in partnerships with the women, men, and children of our community in order to protect the common health, the common rights, and the common good. Our hooding ceremony is led by Dr. Pete Ginter, Associate Dean for Graduate Education, with each of the department chairs. Each graduate will be called forward to receive their hood from their respective chair, and Dr. Ginter will then walk forward to me to receive their medallion before exiting. And we begin with Dr. David Redden, Chair of the Department of Biostatistics.
Erica Dawson, PhD, dissertation title, Performance of Ordinary Least Squares and Heteroscedasticity Consistent Covariance Matrix Estimators and Heteroscedastic Analysis of Covariance Models. Her co-advisors were Dr. Mark Beasley and David Redden. And now, Dr. Michelle Fanucchi will stand up to hood the Department of Environmental Health Sciences. Arun Sankar, MPH. And now, Dr. Gerald McGuinn will stand up to hood the Department of Epidemiology students. Navkaran Baja, MPH. Ishorame Kadiri, MPH. Mega Jaha, MPH. Kevin Michael Wall, MPH. Dale Chachapan, MPH. Valentine Agbodu, MPH. Laura Purvis, MPH. Anna Carr Faro, MPH. Luz Ali Padilla, MSPH. Anna Junkins, MSPH. Fung Pham, MSPH. And now Dr. Kevin Fontaine will stand to hood the graduates of the Department of Health Behavior. Sarah Robichaux, MPH. And now Dr. Meredith Kilgore will stand to hood the graduates of the Department of Healthcare Organization and Policy. Agale Trejo Contreras, MPH. Jasmine Crenshaw, MPH. Philip Dockery, MPH, with a certificate in global health. Sunil Gaikwad, MPH. Daniel Moylan, MPH. Ashley Nicole Perret, MPH.
Please join me in congratulating all of our graduates. Dr. Suzanne Judd, Assistant Dean for Undergraduate Education, will now recognize our Delta Omega inductees.
Like Dr. Michael said, Delta Omega is the National Public Health Honor Society. It started in 1924 at Johns Hopkins University. UAB has the Upsilon chapter. In order to be selected for Delta Omega, a student has to be top 25% in their class and get a faculty recommendation. After those recommendations are received, a committee reviews the application and looks for service to the community, academic scholarship, and research to see that the student is well-rounded. Each one of these students that I'm going to call up to recognize today has met each one of those key benchmarks. We will be giving them the stole for Delta Omega, but those of you receiving it, please give it back after graduation. We need it next year too. And we will also be providing them with a certificate into Delta Omega. At this time, I'd like to begin to recognize the inductees. First, we're inducting our faculty member, Dr. Dale Dickinson. Haglia Contreras. Derek Dubé. Anna Farrow. Ali Padilla. Rebecca Savage. Gabriel Tajou. And Kevin Wall.
So our graduates are now transitioning from student status to joining almost 4,000 fellow alums who are serving various public health roles throughout the world. As you begin your journey, we want you to stay in touch so we know about your accomplishments. Each of our graduates will receive a one-year membership in the National Alumni Society to help you stay in touch with us. Congratulations. So I'm going to go off script for just a second. See? There are lots of people that worked on this event, but Fiandra Jackson did a yeoman's task, and I'd like to thank her and congratulate for a wonderful ceremony. We've come to the close of our 2016 Honors Convocation. Before we recess, let me ask that our visitors and guests remain in the room until the platform members, the graduates, and the faculty have completed the recessional. Once everyone has exited, I would like all the graduates to come back up here for a class photo. We will then begin our reception. Thank you all for being a part of this special event. Please rise as the platform party exits and remain standing until our graduates also have exited. Thank you.